Hello my lovely bells. So welcome back to another one of my videos. So today I'm finally starting to do what I really intended to do for this channel. I'm making my own food. I'm making my own recipes. So today I made a deep dish brownie pie and some homemade marshmallow fluff. Marshmallow fluff's really good, by the way. I may have eaten a small bowl before this video. Right after I made it. We're not going to talk about that because honestly, who cares? And I don't feel bad about it. I enjoyed it. So before I get started, let me light my candle. But today I plan on talking about how I made that, all of the little troubles and stuff I had, because I have notoriously terrible luck with a lot of things. And I'm going to pour myself a glass of almond milk. Let me know, do you like almond milk? I used to not like it, like, whatsoever. Now I absolutely love the way it tastes. It's just not right to not have a glass of milk with something as thick as a brownie. So I'll keep that off to the side in case I need more, but I shouldn't, because I also have a glass of tea. All right, bells, I'm going to try and do something that may or may not work out well. We're gonna see. I'm going to try and transfer this to this. Hopefully it should be fine. We shall see. So I greased it up really well. Oh! And there's wax paper in here too. Yay! Oh! I'm so proud of myself. Alright, I'm going to, don't worry, I washed my hands. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. Get a look at that. I am debating on if I want to cut this up first or if I want to just dig in. I think I'm going to cut it up because I think I might share a few pieces of this with my friends. If there's any left. And I made sure to make this one extra fudgy. Oh, it's so thick. That's what she said. So really when I was making this, I kind of encountered a ton of problems. That tends to happen when I bake. I've gotten really good at troubleshooting though and problem solving because of it. So my oven in my apartment I think is broken, which if you know me, that is exactly something you would expect to happen. Because I had preheated it to 350, which is what the recipe called for. And it was not 350. Like, we're talking, I put my hand in the oven to test. No. Like, it was just, like, mildly warm. Like, it felt comfortable in there. And I got my roommate to also test it out because I was like, am I going crazy? And she was like, no, there's no way that is 350. So I ended up, you're probably like, then how did you make this? Well, I ended up setting it to like the highest heat setting. And I think that was comparable to 350. And I just ended up watching it like a hawk as it was cooking. Oh, I'm like a kid. I've been looking forward to this for seriously so long. Got my plate. Because the reason I'm really excited for this is I had to make it last night, and then it had to partially set overnight. Ooh. And yes, I added little extras and chocolates and stuff. So this is going to taste really good, hopefully. Alrighty, I'll put that off over here. And I had an absolute blast making it. It called for a blender, and the blender, or actually called for a food processor, but all I had was a blender. Let's just say that was mistake number 2. Technically number 1, because the oven mistake happened after this mistake. But the blender, I had to like stop and start it because the blender was trying to die on me. So I had to watch it like a hawk so it didn't die. Alright, let's give this a try. I tried the batter last night, because this is safe to eat raw, and it was good. You guys, that is great. And it was so simple to make too. Also, don't mind the fact that my fingernail polish is starting to chip. Next video you should see me with like different nail polish. That is very thick and fudgy and rich. That is everything I was hoping it would be. And I made everything you see here today by myself from scratch, except for the almond milk. It's a little more difficult to make. But right after I baked this, or I was done with the batter, I immediately went onto Amazon and I purchased a food processor because it was such a tedious process trying to get the blender to work with me. So yeah, I kind of dropped a very pretty penny on the food processor. I can't be mad. I'm not even going to try and stop myself. If you made that, you'd be doing the same as I am. I also made myself a cup of tea, like usual. This one I think is either, you're probably like, how do you not know? Well, I kind of made a bad decision when I was setting up my tea tin. So I have like, they're in like clear bags right now, like these like tea sachets. And there is afternoon tea, English breakfast tea, and Earl Grey. They're all in like right next to each other. So, I mean, I can usually tell when it's Earl Grey. I think this one's morning breakfast. Earl Grey is my absolute favorite. And this should be breakfast tea. You can tell by the way it smells and tastes. But yeah, I'm officially done with blenders. I do not like using blenders in recipes anymore. They're just miserable to use. Ooh. It's a bit of a messy bite. I think maintenance came in. See, I wasn't kidding about the oven. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back, lovely bells. So, maintenance just came in and she's absolutely lovely. She fixed our oven. So our oven apparently wasn't, not necessarily broke, but the knob wasn't calibrated correctly. So it works, it just wasn't going to the temperature that it was supposed to, because, I mean, it was going to the temperature, but the knob wasn't right. So it didn't know, like it was set to the different temperature than I was seeing. I haven't had a brownie in a very long time. Today is going to be a very good day because I'm just going to let myself eat. Like I always do. But it's very rare I get to eat 2 big pieces of brownie. With nice like chocolate chips in it. Oh, this is so exciting. But let me tell you a story for when I was baking a pumpkin pie and that oven like messed up. So I bake a pumpkin pie from scratch from one of my favorite bakers. Her name is Curious Cat Bakery. She is a vegan baker from the Tampa area. But her desserts, I swear, are the best desserts I've ever had in my life. And I had made her pumpkin pie before and it turned out absolutely amazing. And then I tried making it like the last time. It was like for a Thanksgiving work party. And at first, it just wasn't like cooking. Like a whole hour had passed and the cake or the pie was still liquidy on the inside. And that was not at all how it's supposed to look. Like when I had first done it for that long, it had almost overcooked. And so I was like, what the heck's going on? Is my oven broken? So I turned up the heat. I left it in there for maybe 10 minutes. And then the top burnt. And so the oven, I know, is like capable of like heat. Like clearly it was capable. But it just wasn't doing the right temperatures because before it was way too little and then it just went to way too much. And because of that oven, I mentioned before, I've gotten very good at critical thinking and problem solving. I think I'm a little sick of the fluff. Nice and fudgy. Because I ended up being able to salvage the pumpkin pie. And I was able to like take off like the burnt layer, which is really, really strange. And I was able to recook it and just watch it like a hawk. And then it finally like cooked through. It didn't look like the prettiest on the top because I like peeled it off. I had like a weird texture. So I ended up broiling a bunch of marshmallows on top. Super tasty. But everyone at my office is like health nuts, so no one ate it. I think my love language might be food, which is like a variation of like giving and receiving gifts, because my main love language is giving and receiving gifts. Not like expensive gifts. They have to be like cute, trinkety, and they have to mean something. If it's just like a gift, it doesn't mean anything to me. But if it's from someone who I deeply care about and I love, and if it's something that there's a lot of thought put into the gift, then it means the absolute world to me. I have so many like trinkets and stuff from people who I love, and I just look at it and I go, oh, my sister gave me that, or oh, Chelsea gave me that, Nicole gave me that, Lily gave me that, Tiara gave me that. Tati, I can list all of my friends. I have literally like so many things that I just near and dear to my heart that I would never consider ever giving up or throwing away or getting rid of. where I was going with that is, I think maybe like a self-love language or like a second love language of mine is food. Because I absolutely love to make. I like to bake and cook. I love baking. I adore it. It's so fun. And I'm really glad that I finally have time to do it again. But I love to give food to people, and I like to watch them eat and their reactions. I've started to grow out of it a little, or I've started to tame myself a little bit. Because a lot of people around me, they either don't want to eat the food, they don't like the food, or they don't like the type of food I made, or they're on a diet and they're trying not to eat it. And so it really hurts, or not hurts, but I get why would you eat it? When I make something and then it just kind of sits there, it makes me feel a little bad. So this is nice because I'm making these for myself, and it's I get to love myself, and then I get to enjoy it more when I'm talking and I'm in the camera. This was a very good thing. This idea, this channel. Because I know I've said it before, but it's a lot of fun, and as long as I get to eat the things I make and I enjoy it, I don't need anyone else to, necessarily. Although one day I will find someone who wants to eat my food and who will eat it with me. That day, I'm waiting for that day. But the first time I made the pumpkin pie was for Halloween last year. I dressed up as Princess Peach. Loved it, ton of fun. And everyone who took a slice really liked it, so that was good. And that pumpkin pie turned out great. I'm realizing now I should have probably kept this in frame. But that's okay. It really is very tasty. I'm super happy with how this turned out. I'm starting to get a bit full, so I'm just going to eat probably another little slice, and then I might call it. I'm thinking about making a deep dish cookie pie next. Or I might make an apple crisp or a blueberry crisp. I tend to really like a lot of southern desserts, even though I'm far from southern. I don't know yet. We shall see. Oh yeah, no, it's starting to hit me. I am getting fall. One of my favorite YouTubers, I'm a huge foodie, so I like to watch food eating channels. One of my favorite YouTubers of all time is Katina Eats Kilos. And that girl can put away some food. Like, it's like you don't realize just how much like a competitive food eater is eating. Like, it doesn't look hard with the way they just go for it until you sit down and you try and eat a lot, and then you realize I didn't even get through maybe like, I got through at most like a third of this, not even. And I'm struggling to finish. Like when I cut myself. When I was walking to my second job yesterday, it was frigid. The reason I say that is because it's a little cold in here, but I'm committing to this look. So it was literally 30 degrees. And I had gotten frostbite before walking to that job. Like, I live pretty close to it, like maybe 20 minutes away. But it was, oh. I wore like maybe 5 different layers. Alachua is so much more different than the East Coast. which is where I grew up. Because we didn't get temperatures like this. If we got a frozen day, it was like once or twice a year. I remember like the one year, I think it was either my junior year in high school. It hit like the 35s or something like that, and everyone was losing their mind because no one was used to it. And at the time, I was like still going through that little bit of a phase where kids are like, I'm not cold, I don't wear jackets. And even I was like, I need to put on a jacket. This is gonna be my last bite. You can get it better in the picture. I'm really super happy with how that turned out. Thick, fudgy, everything a brownie should be. And a nice cup of milk. Growing up, I did not like cow's milk. My mother was always like, drink your milk, your bones. And I was like, I would rather just break every bone in my body than drink a glass of milk. So it was really nice. I didn't even know like almond milk existed until maybe high school, which sounds crazy. But when you grow up in a household where like those types of, like it isn't talked about at all. And my parents were rather old when they had me. Like we're talking, like my father right now is a senior citizen. My mom would be 56, I want to say, or 55 right now, if she was still with us. And it's like they have me very late, and they just never crossed their mind to even think about trying those types of things. And the only reason we had margarine was because there's like a huge like health craze in like the 80s or 90s, or 70s. I don't know when it happened, where they're like, butter just terrible, you'll die if you eat it. It's like the whole huge anti-fat movement, which is a bunch of BS, by the way. Eat your fat. Fat is important for your body. But so that's why we had margarine in the house, and that was it. But any other type of alternative, no. So it was really nice because to discover almond milk, because I generally like the way almond milk tastes. Like regular milk is just too heavy, and it's very sweet too. Like going back from unsweetened almond milk to regular milk is like, and don't get me started on soy milk. I love soy milk. I'm gonna take a few more sips of this, and then we'll call it here, bells. But I am full. Which is good, because it's always nice to leave satisfied. Ooh, it's chilly. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the video for today. Sorry that I had to leave for a little bit. Maintenance came, but she fixed my oven, which is great. So that means I can keep baking. Thankfully I have an air fryer, so I'd be able to bake like smaller things, but this is just so much more convenient to have like a real like oven. Like you don't realize just how much you relied on it or relied on something like an appliance like that until you lose it or until it starts malfunctioning. So this is great. I also have notoriously terrible luck with appliances, so I'm glad to see it's fixed. So I'll see you all next time. I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to be making or eating just yet, but you can get used to this. I plan on making a lot of the foods I eat from now on from scratch. Just because I enjoy it. Cooking is a very big hobby of mine, and I love it. It's very fun, and it makes you feel like independent in that you're more capable than you might actually be. Actually, also forgot to say, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Please comment. It does help a lot. And let me know what you liked, didn't like, what you would like to see next, and all of that. Anyways, this is goodbye for real now. Bye, my lovely bells. I'll see you next time.